All right, so this is what happened.
Okay. Oh, you also have to tell me about Walmart. I remember we
forgot
about that
Walmart.
too. Yeah.
All right, so let's just start with Walmart.
Okay, let's go with
All
Walmart.
right. So, I was going into Walmart, and Walmart, at least this one, is really starting to like
Ghetto.
Well, no, this is the best Walmart out of all of them.
Which one?
The one on Lynn Haven.
Okay,
the one you go to,
yeah. Okay.
Because it's clean, it's organized, and the people are
white.
Mind
that was wrong. Okay,
white.
That was wrong. It was a joke. Okay,
they're more
conscientious.
They're more presentable.
Okay,
put it like that.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. The other ones, everything is everywhere. It looks more like what Marshalls used to be.
How about Roses?
Like Roses,
Oh
okay.
my gosh, yeah.
It looks more like Roses. And the people look, which is not a problem, but they all look special. Like, all right. And when you ask them a question, it takes them like half an hour to give you an answer, if they give you an answer at all.
That's if they know you're there.
So, I was going, but this Walmart, the good Walmart, is starting to get to me because every time I go there, somebody's asking me for money.
Oh, okay.
So at the doors they got this organization, this organization, which is cool. It's just a personal thing for me that now I have to feel some type of way every time I say, I just gave you some the other day.
Oh, okay.
Or no. Or nah. Or I gotta pretend like I don't see them, or look to the ground, or be on my things like that. It's like stop asking every time.
It's out of your character to do that because you're normally a giving person.
And if I had it, this one person, I gave him. That's the most I've ever given at one time.
Oh shit!
Right?
What,
and that's
$2?
No, because that's the only. Well, that wasn't the only bill. It was the smallest bill I had.
Oh, $3 bill.
If I had a $3 bill, I would have kept it because I could have made more money off a $3 bill. Then.
That's right.
But anyways, so I went to the other side of the Walmart, the other entrance.
The grocery?
No, the garden.
Garden.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Because they have less people asking for shit there.
Yeah.
But
what?
As I get closer, there's this homeless guy or residentially challenged individual.
That is a good title.
And
like that.
So he was asking for money, and I'm not gonna give somebody in that situation money because I don't know what you're gonna use it for.
Right.
So I just said, "Would you like me to pick you up something while I'm?"
Yeah.
He was like, you can give me anything that's non-perishable. I was like, that could be anything for me. So
here's a candle.
Yeah. So I was like, what do you want? Is there something certain food or drink or anything as long as it's not meat? I'm like, okay.
Beer.
He said protein bars. I said, okay.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's smart.
I was like, cool. So I went over there to the bar section and I was like, okay, I'll get him some protein bars. Get him a few. Then I started looking at the prices.
I know. He picked a good one.
I was like, damn. I wasn't expecting it. I was just coming in here for some toothpaste.
I know.
Okay,
I gotta take a loan out for this guy to get bars.
So I was like, well, I'll get him some granola bars.
Bobo.
Something. I think Chewy makes they give him like.
Oh, they got they got cheap bars.
I think I went for the great value one, but they get more bang for your buck.
Yeah.
That was like $3.16 for like 20 granola bars.
You're kidding?
No,
that's a deal.
So I was walking towards the cash register.
You gave him one bar.
I had a whole box in front of him, and I gave him one bar.
Yeah, there you go. Here, take one.
I got the rest is for the other people in the other corner.
I gotta feed people here.
So as I was getting to the cash register, I was like, you know what? I gotta get him some protein. So let me just get him some peanuts.
Oh, sweet.
So I was gonna get him the roasted ones that's in the shell. I'm like, nah, because then he ain't got nowhere to put the shells and all that. So I was like, well, let me just give him the ones in the can. That way he has some sodium and potassium from the, so okay.
Way to go, doctor.
Yeah, and so I walked all the way back.
Damn, okay.
Right? Got him the thing. I was like, okay, well, that's $2, right? And some change. Oh, okay, cool.
Were they planters?
I think, no, they were great value. Great value.
GVs.
So I went there, and then I went to the self-checkout by the garden. You know?
Yeah.
I was like, before I pay for this, let me go see if he's still there. This motherfucker was gone. I was about to pay $6 for something that I wouldn't have ate, and he bounced. I was like, well, shit, you just saved me $6 and some change, so I just left the shit there, but he ain't had no patience. All you had to do was wait. Just wait a little bit. I even asked. I was like, I made an effort to see where else he went. Maybe he went to the other side.
Oh, really? Okay.
Then go to the other side. I asked the cop. I asked the greeters. Yeah. Your future thing.
Job. Yeah.
And but he was nowhere to be found. But yeah,
he's picking.
So he wasted my time. Is what I'm trying to.
Actually, he didn't.
No, he wasted my time.
No, he did not.
He didn't, but he did.
I'm gonna tell you what. Okay. One thing is, through your effort through the store,
I got you.
Your good intentions were flowing.
Oh, of course.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course.
And it was actually increasing because, hey, I need to give this MF for peanuts.
I'm laying the foundation for something greater based off my intentions.
Exactly.
I know, but because for entertainment value, he wasted my time.
He did waste your time, but you're.
But he saved me.
He
saved me $6. So. It was all good. So I got the good benefits of the intentions and the karma.
Hey.
And I got to save $6.
Can't beat that.
All you had to do was just wait.
Plus you got your steps in too.
And I got my steps in. All you had to do was just wait.
Patience is a virtue. Okay?
I can't believe this nigga almost had me wait $6. I would have paid for it and he went out there. I wasn't about to go back there and return that.
What influenced you to do that to start with?
Do what?
To actually listen to the guy, to get, instead of those people with other causes and so forth, What was the thing? What enticed you to say, hey, I'm going to do something for this guy?
That's perfect, because that's going to lead into...
Oh, the next thing.
Right.
Okay.
So, before we can get to a higher state, before we are liberated as beings from this current cycle of pain and suffering, just to get to a higher, you have to have a foundation.
Right.
And that foundation is our body, or the temple, and if we can't feed ourselves and be somewhat healthy on a physical level, 99.999% of the time, you're not gonna get to that spiritual. And it's not to say you're gonna do it in one, one life.
Right.
It takes a while, but your progress is gonna be that much more slower, harder. So it's the same thing why I would donate to legal aid services. Because how can we be free spiritually if we can't be free physically? Like, you're incarcerated, even though the best environment for freedom is a prison, sort of.
Yeah, it is.
Because now you're in a situation where your distractions are minimal, but it's a type of prison. I don't want to.
So when you go?
I know. I put myself in a prison.
Oh, a metaphoric prison?
Metaphoric prison.
Okay, gotcha.
By letting go of certain things, by doing,
I got you.
But some people have found, an aspect of God while in prison. This is, you hear a lot of Muslims and Christians and all, which is fine because now they're forced, their mind goes in, instead of always being out. So that's why I don't mind, donating food and things like that. If you got a hungry belly, the last thing you're gonna think about is, anything higher. So that's the only.
I got you. You were the thing is, when you said you're not going to give money, which is practical, which you shouldn't do anyways, but you're also thinking about the man's well-being still, and like you asked him, hey, what would you like to eat? Which is, I mean, and it also puts them in a situation where they know they're not going to get what they want, but they're going to get something
that they need.
And sometimes getting what you need ain't what you want, and it's not, and I think that's why he left. Because he won't get no protein bars that were $5.
That's a good point, because when I ain't roll up on him, I try to just slide by him.
Right. Yeah.
There was nothing really around him, so I guess nobody else was giving him anything. Right. So I guess it was like, this is not a fruitful spot.
Bad corner, huh?
Yeah. So, but anyways, all right. Guess who showed up at the house 2 days ago?
That guy. No kidding. Wow.
Out of the blue.
Right.
Didn't let nobody know he was coming.
Right.
He just showed up.
Okay. Surprise.
Which was rude as hell.
That's good. I like that.
Because without going too into the dynamics of the relationship.
Yeah.
You don't ghost nobody for years. Like ghost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because your feelings got hurt or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You don't ghost nobody for years and then just show up at their house like nothing happened.
Right.
And then that's not the rudest part of it. The rudest part was he came around preaching.
No. Preaching what? Oh my God, really?
And look, I've always said I don't pick on Christians because they're Christians.
Yeah.
I only talk about them because I used to be a devout Christian, right. So I am intimate with the Bible, however that religion is. So that's why I focus on that. But when I say Christianity, I mean any religion that's
based on Christ.
Or just any religion, whether it's Islamic, whether it's Christianity, Judaism, anything.
You mean
that's
any religion, period?
Right.
Okay.
Anybody who's just in that box.
Okay. I got you.
So he came around and
was he in a suit?
Oh my goodness, he was not in a suit, but that is funny you say that.
Wow,
because
preacher.
He started talking, Jesus this, Jesus that, and so he said. He's been digging into the roots of, he's done the research and so that's when I asked him. I was like, so give me an example of something.
There you go.
That's all. All right.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, oh, I knew this was going to happen, but I'm prepared for you now. I'm like, okay, I just want an example of what you...
Does he feel like he's being challenged now?
Okay, so then he came back and was like, I'm ready for you now.
Okay.
And this is where I've been. See, I've been wearing a suit.
Okay.
Of lies and all this. And I'm like, I agree. I agree. Like we all
put suits on or whatever, yeah.
Right. But now, thanks to Jesus and, Christianity or whatever, I've seen that there was a lie, that there was a suit, and then I've taken, that suit is not me no more. I am not the flesh.
Okay.
I'm not the flesh. I am not the body. Okay, that's cool. So far, so good,
Okay, all right.
But
a lot of talk.
But what he doesn't realize is that, yeah, you may have taken off that suit, but you just exchanged it for another one, but a lighter one. Before you had on one of them training vests that just held it, was just burning, and now you just took it off, and now underneath that is something lighter.
Yeah.
That's what they can't. So, anyways, so I mean, what do you think about that so far? Just
okay. Maybe his intentions are good. I don't know.
Always.
I don't know. Okay.
He's
because from what I know of him, but that's long past.
He is like, his intentions are always good.
Okay.
Always. I'm not gonna say, how they come across may not, but that's mostly everybody,
All right. One of the things that if he comes to guns blazing about how he's changed and how he became, to me that's a cover up, because first of all, you don't go in and explain yourself, where you've been, what you did, that kind of thing. You're there as a changed person, and take me as I am now. Well, I can't do that because of what I've seen before. Now, proof is in the pudding. You could talk the talk, but if you don't walk the walk, like you haven't been around, and you're pushing something that, hey, I believe, you believe, but it's something that you have to be, what do you call it? You have to have insight into that person, and to me, I think he needs something other than Jesus. Okay, and that's a sad thing to say, but I think he's coming around to become either back in the fold as a person, or maybe to, I don't know.
But see, that's oh my goodness, it's like, that's why I gotta be careful with you. I have to be careful with you.
Oh, with me, okay.
Because even though you're Christian, we have a similar mindset, because that's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I was like, he's basically coming around for a hug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because him and my mother had a relationship, and, and it was, mom, I don't want to say my mother, basically our mother, because she
took care of him.
She was one of the women that took care of him, along with my grandmother. We were all raised by the same people.
When I first saw you guys, I thought it was brothers.
Right.
The way he talked to you, just like older brothers.
But then, but check this out. The way he didn't talk to me was like your brother.
Yeah.
It's just like one moment and then the next moment. No, but I understand. Sometimes you have to, you have to retreat into your, but there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
But that's what I got, that like, he needed to let us know that he changed. But you do that just by living, just by being an example. You don't need to profess. You don't need to go and recruit. And that is why I say it's rude also. Mm-hmm. Because it's kin to like the Europeans, who, for being a Christian faith, are the only ones going all the way around the world, tearing shit up, raping women, killing babies, exterminating, basically genocide races, ethnicities, in the name of Jesus, to spread their Christianity. That's the only way they can do it. And history has proven that. Like, to have conversion schools, like, and so he came to our home to tell us that the way we're living.
Oh no. No, he didn't.
Not like that, but trying to say that Jesus is the way. Jesus is the way, and what you believe in is not wrong. I mean, it's wrong, and there's a better way. And Jesus, your way is not the way. The way that I'm living, Jesus, that's the way. So you come to somebody's house and tell them that, and then you expect me to just sit there and take it, knowing the things that I know? Mm-mm. So that's when we started going back and forth, and I did it because, one, I enjoy talking about these things.
Oh yeah.
Two, I haven't talked to him in a while. I want to see
where he's coming from,
because he might be able to, add to my understanding deeper. So everybody has something to offer in some way.
Okay.
And also to keep my sword sharp.
Okay.
Because I don't really debate much. But this is not even a debate. You can't debate. You can only debate when your foundation is facts.
Right.
And reason.
Yeah, it's not feelings.
It's not.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to have a debate with somebody who believes in Santa Claus, it's not a debate. It's more like, okay, let me tell you what I feel, and I'll tell you what you feel, then okay. So, but we went back and forth, and so I want to bring these points up that he brought up, just to see how.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay.
Any thoughts so far?
No. All right. Did you ask him why?
Why what?
Why that he had the feeling to come see you at that moment?
I didn't, but later on he said that he saw my mother's name. I'm not too clear because I just caught the. Apparently he told her why. I didn't ask my mom. I really don't care. Yeah. But when we were saying our goodbyes, he was like, yeah, so I came across your name and that was a sign from Jesus to have me come. That's confirmation bias because in the last 4 or 5 something years, that's the only time you seen my mother's name or the only time somebody like.
She's been around,
I mean, we all see coincidences and synchronization.
Yeah. Well, you want to see them. That's the key. You want to see them.
When you want to see them.
Right.
Synchronization is all over the place.
Yeah. You have to look at it.
So it just.
Yeah. I got you.
All right. So just a couple points, then we'll move on.
Sure. Go ahead. Were you happy to see him?
Yeah. No, wasn't.
I love that. The first answer. Yeah, no.
It was good to see that he was doing good.
Physically speaking. Okay, yeah. That's a good thing.
I don't want to see nobody, but I'm glad to see that he had the energy to, because he's been, not feeling his best as of late. So, which is why the whole Jesus thing happened. Because when somebody's at death's door, they're more susceptible. They're more willing to grasp at anything because it's a desperation move.
In other words, when someone is drowning, you will grab on to anything, even a shark. And usually, the first thing you grab onto is the closest thing to you, the thing that brings you the most comfort. And that is usually the thing that was first ingrained in you.
And a lot of times it's a hedge your bet type thing. Well, if this ain't real, then, if I baptize and accept Jesus Christ and all that, if it's true, then I'm saved. If it's not true, then hey, then it's not. Then either way, I'm hedging my bets.
Isn't that sad?
So
that's how people think.
That is how people think. But when you're desperate and full of anxiety, full of depression, you're not thinking clearly. And the proof in that is how a lot of these conversion camps or things. What they say is that the first thing they tell you is born in sin, so something's wrong with you. If you don't fix it, you go to hell for eternity. So fear is the number one thing, not just for Christianity.
That's
remember,
what got me.
This is with everything. Fear. And I've heard it over and over again. Even me personally, if you do this, you're going to hell. And I used to be like, oh shit, I can't do this because it's like I can't. I was like, it was
paranoid.
You're paranoid. It's paranoid. It's horrible. And
somebody's watching me. Somebody's doing.
And then you see the world through that, and that creates even more, tension and this and that. And so, anyways, all right. So he brought up the concept of hell.
Oh, really?
Right,
okay.
Right. Okay. So he said in the Bible is hell this, and I was like, and I tried to say, okay, but where does hell come from? What is that concept?
What is the word?
And what is the word?
Yeah.
Just for our, thing, what was it? King James had ordered a bunch of people, the top scholars, during his day. I think it was like 40, 45, something like that, to translate the Bible from Hebrew to English, Old English, whatever they was talking there. So,
didn't it go Hebrew Greek then?
Hebrew Greek, Hebrew Greek.
Okay.
Just to translate.
Right.
I mean, we can do the research and go deeper. I'm just giving a
general idea. Okay, gotcha.
And so, all right. So there's two Hebrew words. One is Sheol.
Sheol,
right, which means grave.
Right.
That's all it means.
Dirt. Right.
Then the other one is Gehenna, which is an actual place, and this translates to crematory or garbage heap. Right. And it's also where they had ancient child sacrifices.
Right.
Those are two Hebrew words.
Was that Golgotha? Was that?
I'm not sure. I know that is a place, but I don't think that's the same place. But it might be.
Okay.
But
what happened was the trash was taken outside the city, and the place that they placed it was that word.
Okay, exactly.
That's what it was. Plus, you're right about the baby sacrifices too. Yeah.
All right. Then there's two Greek words.
Right.
One is Tartarus, which in their belief mythologies, that's where gods sent other gods.
Okay.
All right. Then there's what everybody knows, Hades.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
And in their belief, everybody goes there for some time.
Right.
All right. But in 1611, King James, they used all those words into one and made it hell. Even though they all meant different things. It's just like the word, I don't know the two words, but virgin. There's two meanings of the word virgin. Right. One is a young person, a young lady. The other one is untouched. But when you use them in the same way, synonymously, it messes up the meaning. Yeah. And there's a couple verses in the Bible that, all right, so when you tell them, he was like, but you don't need to know that.
What?
Now, there was other times during the conversation that I would bring little things up like that. Yeah. Less complicated than this.
Sure,
even though this ain't really complicated. Yeah. This is just words. Like you use words to read. And the same pattern was repeated. The same phrases. You don't need to know that. You don't know everything. Why do you need to know that? All you need to know is that this is the word of God. This is all you need to know.
No, sorry. Here's the thing. Okay, all right. The word is the word. Okay, until you read it. Okay, then it becomes your word. Okay, whatever he read from the word, he's taken it upon himself. That's my word. Now I'm going to tell you my word, and I'm going to give it to you so you can be the same. Okay?
And that's basically happening. Because he kept saying, he was like, but from my experience, I know. The things that I've seen, the things that I do, and
let me
go ahead.
Something. I went through this myself. Okay, when I was, I'd say about between my 30s and 40s, where it became real important for me. Okay, and I went kind of overboard.
I was like that from like 18. I was raised in church all the time, but I went through a period of serious from like I think it was like 17 to 20 or something. It was short, the seriousness of it, but I was I mean,
one of the things you caught in the spirit of it. Okay, it is a spirit-filled thing but you cannot sustain it. Okay, I don't care what you do, you cannot sustain it because you're living here, and what you ask for is more strength to continue being in this space. Okay.
That God give me the strength.
Exactly.
God gives me the strength.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what you believe. That's what He does. But the thing is, when people or when preachers or anybody tells you, you don't need to know that. It reminds me of a used car salesman. Here, sign the contract right here. What are these little words right over here? Oh, you don't need to know that. Don't worry about it. Just sign the contract. It's that type of feeling you get because I need to know myself. You're telling me what I know. You don't know what I know.
Well, the thing is, what they say, don't question. All right, but the very first thing you do as a baby, when you start to actually, after you say mama and dad, is why.
Where's my food?
Where's this? What's this? It is it what separates us from animals, like to ask why, what, when, where, how. It's the inquisitive mind. Without asking why, there will be no growth in civilization. No. There will be no development. No. And here's the thing. When somebody came to him, or at one point me, and you, hey, do you know who your Lord and Savior is? Yeah. Right? That's a question number one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you say no, and they'll say, it's Jesus. What is your next question?
Who's Jesus?
Who is Jesus?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You can ask questions about Jesus, but you can't ask questions about anything else?
Yeah, no. It doesn't work that way.
So, and he says, you don't need to know that. You don't need, and you know what? I started the conversation saying, because for some reason, and I get this a lot.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about people, when I'm talking with people about this, debating, so to speak. Yeah. It was like, you know too much. You're too smart for your own good.
Oh,
too much science, too much. Okay. Here's the thing. There's different ways to communicate a certain thing. Don't punish me because I put the time in to articulate what I'm feeling. Now, if you want to talk science, let's talk science. If you want to talk reason, if you want to talk anything else, then let's take it that way. Which way do you best communicate with? Because either way, it's like somebody who wants to travel the world. If they put in time learning different languages to communicate with different people, don't blame them. That's what they put their time in. But here's the thing. They say you don't need to know all that. And it's true. And I told them, I was like, look, we don't, in order to have and develop that relationship with God, you don't need to know, know all these different, read all these different books, know all this, okay? Because when you develop a certain eye for things, it doesn't matter what you come across, you see the God in that. You know? It's like, you don't need that when you're in tune.
The phrase I use all the time is, you know that you know that you know. Meaning that I may not have read it, but I know it. Or I may have, that kind of thing. I mean, it's. I haven't done my research, but I know what
It's an intuition.
Yeah,
It's a refined instinct.
Yeah.
And that works for some people. I try to tell them, every soul on this planet is on a different path at different levels. You go to a high school, you have people that's in 9th grade, you have people you have principals, everybody's at a different. So people learn in different ways. An artist, some people need to go through school in order to draw and paint and sculpt like Da Vinci and Michelangelo. Some people are just Da Vinci and Michelangelo. It's just something you don't have to. Some people can sing their ass off. Some people need to go to singing school. Some people need to be taught. Some people can go to sleep, have mathematical formulas come into their head, in a certain way, and then when they write it down, it comes out as whatever language that they was taught. Some people, same thing with science. Some people need to be taught these things. So what he was saying is, you don't need to know that. He was saying is that you don't need that the Bible is the only thing you need, right? But then he kept bringing up the thing of theology. Yeah, but theologists say that this. I'm like, theology is the study of God. What theology that you're talking about is people reading hundreds of books on the commentaries about the Bible,
right?
Which 80% of it is from a third person perspective.
Right. It's so their own interpretation.
So you can read books. You can read hundreds of books about commentaries about the Bible, but you can't read hundreds of books outside of the Bible that explains the source of the Bible or anything the underlying meanings of it. Like, so then the Bible is not the only thing that you need. Because you try to hand me a book or about you need to read this, I'm like, I don't, man. I've been through this. Like, you're not the first person. I've talked to preachers, pastors, nuns, monks. You're not the first.
Right.
My sister was like that when she first. The same thing got taken over.
Yeah.
It's almost like a cult type thing.
It is.
And she had her people come over. She wasn't Jehovah's Witness, but I've spoken to Jehovah's Witnesses. And the same thing is the same thing out of their mouth. You don't need to know that. You don't need to know. It's like the same reason that they use to apply to make their everyday life decisions.
Right.
That I mean, if they didn't make these decisions, they would not be here. But they use this reason to make those decisions.
Right.
Somehow they can't use some of it and apply it to their religion.
Right.
It's like they're afraid to ask. It's not that they're not intelligent enough to ask the questions. They're afraid to hear the answers because then their identity is gone. Now what do I hold on to?
Right.
You know, that's what.
Well, one of the things that you get when you age through religion, okay, is discernment. Okay, that's a big thing. Okay. You got to know where it's coming from, who it's coming from, and whether or not to take it in as food or sustenance, or just push it away, saying it goes against my grain right now, because what you're telling me is something I already know, but also experienced. Okay? And you can't tell me how I feel. You can't tell me what I believe. You can only tell me how you believe and how it experienced your experience. And then I can go by that.
And that's what I was trying to explain to him. Yeah. Look, I'm not trying to convert you.
No.
But you're bringing something up, and I'm just trying to give you a deeper knowledge and understanding of what you believe. That's it. I'm not trying to. And Buddhists don't try to convert nobody. Hindus don't try to convert nobody. Because they know that God is unlimited and it manifests itself in different ways, like Christianity, like Islam. Yeah. But yet, Christianity and Islam and Abrahamic religion, they try to convert everybody else. Yeah. Like, and then you brought up food.
Yeah.
Then later on in the conversation, after we shut that down, like, you know, okay, you believe what I believe, okay, whatever.
Was it heated?
No, it wasn't heated. It's excited. It was exciting. It wasn't heated. It wasn't contentious. It wasn't, you know, anything.
It can go that way real quick.
No, like I said, because he's a naturally fiery person, and when it comes to this stuff, I become fiery. So that's what, So I mean, it was cool. But later on, he tried to, you know, like I said, health issues or whatever with family, and so he was asking me about food, you know, and I was like, what should I? And I was telling him, and what I wanted to say to him, but I didn't. I was like, so Jesus can give me the intelligence to come into a certain understanding about the temple of God.
Right.
But now I can't apply that same intelligence about the God within the temple.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's hard for me to take spiritual advice from somebody who doesn't know how to feed their body, keep their body at somewhat, you know, balance.
Right.
And that's something they can touch and feel, and that's your body. That's the temple of God.
That's what they call it. Yeah.
You know, they say the flesh is weak and the flesh, no, flesh can become weak, but that is the temple of God.
Right.
God does not make his temple weak. We make it weak.
Yeah.
But its design is built for God. So if you can't feed the temple of God, if you can't keep it clean, if you can't keep it structurally sound, something you can touch that's tangible, how are you going to try to tell me how to feed the spirit?
That's a good one.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, but you
I'm like, this is.
We talk about this all the time.
I'm like, and nobody is perfectly healthy. That's not the.
No,
that's
not
no.
Point, no.
But it's the thing he also brought up was we're not supposed to know everything. I'm like, how many times do I have to tell you? Well, of course, we're not gonna know everything, but it's in the asking of the question that creates that vortex, that creates that energy that propels you forward. You might not get the answer, but just asking it sends your whole brain into a whole different, instead of just blindly following whatever, because it makes you feel good.
Right. It's all about feeling.
But you don't need to know that. You don't need to know. He's like, you need to get out of your box.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I'm trying to tell you, I don't have a box. There is no box. You're the one in the box.
I know.
You're a Christian box. Everything that's outside of that, you're not gonna listen to. You're like ignoring everything and telling me that I'm in the box.
Right.
I'm like, I used to be in the box, but I'm not in a box. I'm trying to tell you, I don't know shit at the end of the day. But it's that pursuit that you have to be dedicated to. And it's a lot easier to say, like we talk about, it's the same program speech. Lord is my Savior, Jesus Christ, and born in sin on this. And then if you accept, you believe, get baptized.
Right.
Okay. It's the same thing. Like, it's like a program. And that's why I can talk to intelligent Christians like yourself, like, because you see that you see what's behind, like underneath. I don't know what you see, but it's intelligent. You're not just ignoring. Like, I had to walk in through your door to come into your house. No, you didn't walk in through my door to come into my house. No, it's a fact. I walked in through your door. No, you didn't come in through the door. Like, it's one of those, like, oh my goodness.
Well, anything can go through this cycle. Like when you talk politics, when you talk anything that is feeling based. Okay, meaning that I believe, if you want to go examples like, say, for instance, abortion and that kind of thing. Abortion is a feeling based. Okay. It's how you feel about whether the baby's more important or the woman's more important, okay? It's that feeling.
And a lot of that is based off experience, maybe the person himself got raped. And
but I mean, and...
They should add that, when they say, don't bring up politics, religion, you should put abortion at the dinner table.
Oh yeah, because it's too controversial. Yeah. And if you're not gonna debate it in a fact by fact basis, and you're throwing feelings in because that's what you feel, it doesn't work, because feelings aren't facts. You got to understand the difference. And one of the things I think Jimmy was doing was, I think he was practicing on you.
I know he wanted to.
He has to develop his own style and so forth. And I think he went to the wrong person.
And the thing is,
he went to the wrong person.
There's so much that I want. There's some things I wanted to.
You didn't want to hurt his feelings.
One, I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
Because because you know what, I made that mistake. I was in Spain.
Okay.
And the person, everybody's cool. We was at the dinner table. And the girl next to me, she was into more metaphysical things. I don't want to say hippie stuff, but just
like crystals
and stuff like that. Okay. And organic living and all this. And the guy across from me, he wasn't. Okay. And that's fine. Nobody's trying to, But the way he kept talking to her was like very condescending.
Right.
And taking advantage of the fact that he was a guy with a deeper voice, and so I was like, no, let me put this
put this man in his place,
put this dude in his place.
Yeah.
So I said something, and he was like, okay, maybe he's on to something, and then I turned to the okay, she was on my right. I turned to my left and I turned to the guy next to me. I was like, they're not gonna get it. Sometimes it's like trying to teach physics to a Neanderthal, to a caveman. Yeah. And he heard that.
Ooh.
He stood up.
Yeah.
He stood up and he said, you know what? Fuck you.
Okay.
And I was like,
what?
In my mind, I talked through things. Okay. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Number two, I was like, are you serious? The way you just talked to her and you get mad because I say that? But then I looked down at the table and one of the other girls, she was like, because she gave me that look like
yeah,
she could like
back down.
Yeah, like don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. So I was like, all right. But later I went upstairs and
he stabbed you.
I had a toke, right?
Okay.
And that, marijuana, it can open you up if you need it. At that time, I needed it. Okay. Because I didn't have those channels naturally open, so I needed something from the outside to open it. So, and then it dawned on me. I hit it, and it just came to me like, wow. The reason why he got up and cussed me out was because he was hurt. Mm-hmm. He said it with such anger. Mm-hmm. He was hurt. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not in this to hurt anybody. No. Like I could get choked up now if I really allow myself to, but I'm like, I'm not in this to hurt nobody. Right. And ever since then, it would take a whole lot more for me to not pull my punches. Right. I don't mind letting them go, but it would have to be, it would have to be like some nuclear shit, like, because it's not worth it, man. He was hurt, and that's the reason he said. And we had a good relationship, and I went down and I apologized. Yeah. I was like, you know what, I shouldn't have said that, and then he apologized too, and we was cool from there on. But still, that's not gonna go away. No. So that's the reason. That's one reason I didn't say certain things to him, to Junior. The other reason was because when you detect ego, you don't want to give it anything that they can use or that they don't know how to use. Right. So it's certain things that I didn't want to, but
you don't flame the fire there a little bit.
Well, you don't, because what they'll do, they'll say, because that's happened to me before. Mm-hmm. Like I was in class in college, and the teacher was talking about electricity, and I was like, yeah, that's that's kind of that's God. You don't see it, but you feel it. Right? Electricity, like God. You don't see it, but you feel it. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then the Christian below me, because he was a devout Christian, who also tried to. He was like, "What'd you say?" And I was like, "That's electricity. It's not God, but it's like God. Yeah. You don't see it. Oh yeah, I like that. I'm gonna use that. You see, so that's the reason." I didn't want to say certain things to him, because he would have took it, and because his filter is a Christian filter, and no matter what happens, it's gonna be tainted. And I was like, I'm not gonna give you ammo. No. Fuck that.
No, it's not. But and the point about when you realize that you hurt the guy, it's a realization that I had no intentions, but I have to watch myself now, because what I say is like a dagger, it could cut both ways, and you gotta, and that's one thing you learn and you mature with, When people say, "Oh, I'm gonna speak my mind," you better have your mind straight before you speak. Because if you don't, then things like religious debate and so forth can come out in a rough way, where you separate and just not even, connect.
You do more damage.
Yeah, you do.
And we are here to deepen each other's understanding and to get closer to what this thing God is. Even though, and I tried to bring this up to him, but because it's like the Buddhist thing where you can't put if you have orange juice and you put tea in it or something, then you're not gonna really taste the true tea.
Right.
It's gonna be mixed in with the orange juice. You gotta first dump out the orange juice. So no matter what I say, he kept mixing it in with. But I try to tell him like, God, whatever we say God is, it is not. Like this thing we call God is all one. And when somebody sees the world as separate and the other one sees it as one, there's always going to be this back and forth because they're literally seeing things differently. I try to tell them like, God is everything, everyone is omnipresent. I mean, it's everywhere. It's all. There is no, like, you talking about the flesh as we know. The body is God. I am God. You got everything, but they can't see that because they're seeing God outside themselves. And we do that all the time. Oh, thank God. What do? We look up.
Okay. An example, okay? All right. Where omnipresent, when you say God's omnipresent, or when you say infinity, or when you say forever, or when you say that kind of thing, you gotta really understand what those words mean, because what you're basically putting God in a box and telling him this is what we're doing, and then you do what you have to do to get me through this. He's not in a box. He's in the air. He's in the, you know, that's the things he created.
Like what you're basically saying is God, and I like to use the term it, because you know, it isn't intelligent enough to manifest itself in other ways. The only thing it can create is like Jesus. Are you telling me that that's the limit that God has? Like you go to everywhere around the world, everybody speaks different languages. That's the way sound, the word sound, the word of God sound. It just comes out in all different ways. It just, to us, it sounds like French, English, Hindu, but this is the way God speaks. And all these different, it ain't just English. God, that word is going to find a way to express itself. It's going to come out. One way it comes out in a fart. It comes out in a cuss word. It comes out in a loving word. It's like, either way. And so this is what they can't. And like you said earlier, it takes discernment, it takes critical thinking, it takes creativity, but which is sad because his kids are smart. Okay. But because they're being taught, indoctrinated, literally programmed, repeated. Right. These certain things, he's putting a cap on their creativity, their critical thinking, their understanding, you know. Because if I was still a Christian, I wouldn't go certain ways. I wouldn't think I wouldn't have certain thoughts. I would, but I would repress them. See, that's the thing.
That's the sad part.
Everybody has these wives, but they repress them. Yeah. You know, when thing comes out in some other ways that, you know, we don't, it comes out in addictions and other foibles, you know.
Foible.
But it's like, and I try to explain it, and then I'll wrap it up. Like, when somebody, I ask them, and the thing is, you could tell, that's why you could tell when you're talking to somebody and you're making a connection, like you're making sense, because you see it in their eye. Yeah. And he has a certain look where he starts to smile a little bit. Okay. And most people do. They smile a little bit when they know you making sense. Okay. But then it quickly glosses back over to that cult following, you know. Oh, I'm in a cult. I can't think anything outside of this. Okay. So I try to explain to him, like, would you want the leader of your country, the leader of your army, the leader of your family, any leader, you know, would you want a leader to suffer from anxiety and depression? Would you want a leader of that? Would you want a leader? Okay. Not to say they can't lead, but will they be able to lead effectively,
right.
or to the best of them?
Yeah, right.
And he was like, no. I was like, okay, why not? Because the decision, a question, right?
Okay.
Ask them why not? Because then when they are confronted with a certain situation, the decisions that they will make will be affected. So if you feel like the world's going to come to an end, you know, or you're just overly paranoid or anxious and you're not stable, you're more likely to press that nuclear button, you know, because you're seeing things that's not really there.
Right.
You know, so these are, because no matter what we believe in, it all comes down to decisions.
Right.
So when you're at death's door and you're being played with anxiety, being played with depression,
right.
When somebody introduces you something like a religion, you're more, we bringing it
susceptible,
back.
Yeah.
You're going to grasp at that. Right. One of the techniques that they use for brainwashing, and not Christianity, but even cults.
Yeah,
a lot of cults.
Oh yeah. Like Scientology. Oops. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't say that and come after you.
I know, really.
But even like in warfare, you know, things like that, military camps and all that.
Yeah.
One of the things they do is protein deficiency. They don't give you what they starve you.
Yeah.
And then they do whatever they want to do as far as they teach you, they brainwash you, they do the techniques, they do, because now you're more easily susceptible, because when you don't have your temple in order, you suffer from anxiety, you suffer from depression, you're not seeing clearly. So now whatever you come across, you're going to make that decision based on that. That is why I wanted to feed that homeless person food, or any homeless. That's one of my big things. I try to, if I can, you know, if somebody gives me money, I would take that money, you know,
and use it,
and use some of it. Go to the dollar store, make some goodie bags, and that's just what I like to do. As far as, you know, I may not.
You're just like my wife.
I may not give toys for Christmas. May not give CHKD, but everybody has their thing.
You give their needs, not their wants. That's the thing. That's the key thing. That's what God does. He gives your needs.
The body. It's the body. Take care of the body first, you know. So I try to just indirectly say, you know, get your body and your mind to a point where you can actually discern and see clearly.
Okay. How long has he been like, what was his story? What happened? Did he explain that to you? Because that's important. Yeah, no, you got to get the history
we
back
was
there.
We was all raised as Christians.
Okay.
And Puerto Rico, where we would go to church at least 3-4 times a week.
And that's Catholic, right?
No, Pentecostal.
Okay.
Pentecostal.
I like that. I've been there.
And
scared.
Yeah.
And long.
We talked about this last time.
Oh my God. Long services.
So we was always raised like that, and then you know, young kid out in the streets or whatever, and you know, like kids, you know. But then recently, when he started having his serious health issues, is when he started to get rebaptized and read this and all this, because they're trying to save their soul.
Right. Okay. Here's my thinking.
So it was like the last few years.
Here's my thinking. Okay. It's like I've done everything else I could do. Let me get down to this, because it you know, I know some of it, but let me see what it does. And it does give you comfort. Okay.
Familiarity.
It does.
And our grandmother was a devout, but like you said, that's hard to sustain, because even when at her latter days, she wasn't as devout as she was.
No, you can't. I'm sorry. Yeah. But the thing, I can see what he was doing. It's like I have nowhere else to turn, and I know where he came from. I know exactly, because I've been there and I've done that. Okay, where you're at your lowest, because that's what depression will do to you. I don't care what anybody says, and it's not just being sad. You know, that's
it's not that.
It's not. No. you don't want to do a damn thing, okay? You don't want to eat. You don't want to take a shower. You just want to lay there. If something's on, it's just a feeling of dread and not being able to change what your situation is, because your brain has just said, "Fuck it."
Well,
I can't do it.
What do the medical professionals say was going on in the brain during depression?
It's a chemical imbalance.
Imbalance.
Yeah.
So it's an imbalance. So now when you're getting fed information,
all right,
you are using an imbalanced tool to interpret that information.
Right. And
you think you're going to receive that purely? If you get a vision, you're going to interpret that imbalancedly. You know?
Oh, yeah. I see.
But then we're going to say, but it was Jesus.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he's like, well, you're not supposed to know that, or you're not supposed to ask that. Because you're not supposed to know everything. And I agree, you're not going to know everything. But there are answers to questions that you're not asking and are afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Just because somebody else wasn't a coward and asked those questions and have those answers, like I told them, just because you decided to make a left down here at the road and you came across a dead end, doesn't mean somebody else didn't make a different turn or decided to go further and realize it is not a dead end.
Right.
Like, that's just everybody's on it. And I'm not, look, because like I said, he says, everybody needs he used the term shepherd lambs. Everybody needs a shepherd. So he was talking about his pastor and everybody needs a pastor.
Right.
Because what he was telling me was, this is definitely that last bit. He was like, because where did you get your information from? Where did you get I'm like, look, I'm telling you where I got my information from. He's like, I'm like, that is where you get your information from. That silence, that stillness. You have to develop a relationship with that.
Yeah.
Now, some people are naturally just born into that type of intuition type thing. Yeah. Some people have to work their way there. Me personally, I've always had even in church, I've always had that something inside saying there's more to this, right? So the questions naturally came up. And I followed them. And at some point, you don't need to read to get that.
Yeah.
You may come across other things here and there, but you don't need a pastor. What I'm trying to explain to him is God does not need a middleman to connect with God. And that just wasn't sinking in.
That's the Catholic faith right there, where you have to have a priest, which he's saying you have to have one. You don't.
And here's the thing. Like I said, everybody's on their own path. Yeah. So some people need that. And that's perfectly fine. Right. But don't come into my house after years of ghosting me and tell me that I need a pastor to get closer to God. Like, the audacity, the balls on this. I'm like, come on. Like, I'm not trying to convert you, but there's a little bit more that, to your own religion that you could benefit from. But don't try to convert me, man. Like, don't. And then a lot of times, a lot of this recruitment is because, I'm not saying this is his thing, but hey, I get brownie points with God the more people I recruit. And another thing is, when your health is not as great as it is, and you can't work or you can't do certain things like you used to, you need a purpose.
Right.
This gives them a purpose.
Yeah.
I need to go out there and save souls because everybody here is a messenger for.
Yeah. Here's where he's getting that wrong. Okay. All right. God does not keep a tabulation of all the people that you save, because you ain't saving shit. Nobody saves anybody but yourself. One of the things that the word teaches you is you have to spread the word, not shake it into them saying, hey, this is what it is, you better take it or you're going to hell. No, he said offer it to them, and if they want to eat from it, fine. If they don't, walk away.
And that was my thing. See, oh my goodness, I want to stop, but it keeps coming up.
But it is.
So what he say is, if what you're saying is, if the way you think, and I'm like, it's not the way I think, but go ahead. Yeah. Then how come you're not out there spreading the word? Because the Bible says to go out there and spread the word. The fact that you're not out there spreading the word means that you're being selfish. Because you're keeping it all to yourself.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
no, it's not that. Okay.
Say that before I start.
Okay, here's the thing. It's a gift, okay? To spread the word, there's a gift to it. That's why you have pastors. That's why you have preachers. They have a gift to do that, okay? Now, if God says, hey, I want you to spread the word, and you believe in that fact, go ahead and do what you have to do. But don't push that you're not doing it because you're not out there with me. It's not you.
Well, I may not have the gift.
Exactly. That's what it is. It's a gift.
That is I wish.
That's what it is.
Good. So, all right. So this is what I told them, right?
All right, go ahead.
I should have said that.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
This is what I said. I was like, number one, you haven't seen me for about 2-3 years.
Right. Okay,
how do you know what I'm doing?
Right. Okay.
That's number one.
Yeah.
Then he's like, because I don't see you. I am not making this up. Like, I don't see you out there. You're not on YouTube. I don't see you on YouTube. Like, number one. Number two, how do you know I'm not on YouTube? And what I have to say is not going to be for everyone. Number three, the reason why I'm not out there is because, contrary to what you believe, when you spread certain things that's contrary to what most people, which is a Christian nation, you're going to create more divide because they're not open to it. Right. You have to ask me. If you ask me, hey, I'll give you the best. I'll do the best that I can to give you whatever I think I understand, whatever.
Right.
And so, and nowadays people are crazy. So it may not be. I may not be fearing my safety, but I'm fearing my family's safety.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna put you, Mom, Mariah. I'm putting all these names. You, Mom, anybody, friend. I'm not gonna put them because if they can't get to me, they're gonna get to them.
Right.
You know?
You
because
think that.
What I have to say is not.
Yeah.
This is why it's a podcast and it's not out there.
Yeah.
And then lastly, there is more than one way to spread something. The way that I choose to do it is in a way that people will be more open to it without me actually being there.
Okay.
Because let's say, for example, I'm talking to you or anybody else. Based on how I look, somebody might either accept what I'm saying because I look like them or whatever, or remind them of somebody, or they might reject what I'm saying because I look like somebody that they don't like, whatever. Either way, I'm doing them a disservice because it's not a sincere, genuine, pure understanding. So another way to do things is from a different plane.
Yeah.
You can connect to certain people in a certain way when their defenses are not up,
Yeah.
And if at some point, they're going about and they get this little aha moment or it's this thing of awareness, boom, it was them, because now they saw it was them that was doing the work, but at least the signal was out there, but they were receptive. And so that's another way of doing things. And the way I try to relate that to his understanding is prayer. How many times?
That's your favorite subject.
How many times?
Oh, you didn't tell him that, did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good, because he'd have shot you.
You have the way that you can connect, with other people as far as protecting or whatever is through prayer. You're using a different medium. You don't have to physically be there.
Right.
So this is why I try to tell them, don't tell me I'm selfish because I'm not out there on YouTube or I'm scared to get hurt and having a conversation is with somebody who's trying to find something wrong with what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
Oh.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But it could be frustrating because You're not listening. And you're doing yourself a huge disservice because don't tell me that what you're doing is because that's what you say. He said, I'm fulfilled. I'm like, you're not fulfilled because you're here. You know, you may be more fulfilled than what you were before.
Yeah.
But there is no fulfillment. No. Because the more you need from out here, the less you have in here, the weaker you are in here. Right. But yeah, that was
wow.
That's what happened a couple of days ago.
I'd have never in this wildest world have thought that would happen, you know, because I don't know his physical situation, because I can understand, you know, depression and so forth like that, because either you straighten it out with medication, or you do it therapy or something.
Well, this is without going into his personal thing. Physically, let's say, like, this is not specifically what's going on with him. I'm just giving an example so you can have an idea of where he might be.
Right.
So let's say somebody, they end up having a gangrene and they have to cut off their foot.
Right.
So now they don't have a foot.
Right.
And then let's say their loved one dies, the only person that they knew, and then you're just you ain't shit. You just ain't shit after that. You're talking about depression squared.
Gotcha.
You know, anxiety, all this.
Right.
You know, almost homeless. You don't know where your next like I said. I'm not saying this is the situation,
but those are things that.
But it's bad.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and it's bad because of the decisions that he made. But hey, that's God's plan, because that's all he kept saying. That's God's plan. So the reason people say that is they don't want accountability for their decisions. Yeah. But if it's God's plan, where's your free will? Because did God put those thoughts for you to? No, but you chose it. But
you can't.
So how can we get Christians?
Work.
Christians and Muslims and certain, you know, religions, they always say God's plans, fate, destiny, it was written, let it be God's will. Yeah. So then when things happen, why do you get mad? Why do you get sad, anxiety, depressed? If it's what is the, like, and if you do, how come you can't get over it quickly? Like, okay, get mad, get sad, experience pain, okay, fine. But why do you suffer? Yeah. Why are you attached to that? If it's all in God's plan, why get mad? That's my thing, like.
I know. Logically speaking, okay, that's what you're thinking, okay, that's your belief. I totally agree, because you're basically being hypocritical if you say that it's God's will, and then he takes your mother or he takes your father, and then you say, why did you do that? If it, you know, and you question the fact. Now the thing about religion is they teach you not to question. You accept it by faith alone. Okay.
Hey, let me take all your money, give all your money to the church. Yeah. Let me do this, let me do this. Yeah. Or if you're in a cult, hey, forfeit all your property and all that because that's God's will.
That's God's will. No.
You know?
No. I'm sorry. If it feels wrong, it is wrong.
That's
know?
That's
But I have his understanding. I have his understanding of what he's going through. And
and what gets me, it's at the end, I'll pray for you. Oh my God. Do Christians know how condescending that shit sounds?
I'm better than you, I'll take care of you. That's what it sounds like.
But Jesus loves you. I'll pray for you.
I'll pray for you.
Like, oh my goodness, so condescending. All I said, if that makes you feel better.
Okay, there you go.
As long as that makes you feel better.
Right. Wow, that's a good one. What are you gonna name this one?
You come into my house
there you
and
go.
say, I'll pray for you. This mug.
What the funny part about it, you knew him before, okay? That was the thing, okay? You knew him before his situation became bad. And then he dealt with it. I don't know how he dealt with it, but he either did it wrong or nothing went right for him, okay? And then when you fall into such a hole that you can't get out, you ask for, hey, I need help here. And then something sparks, and then it may have been you. It may have been your depression just, getting better. Because I tell you what, when I was depressed and I had to take medication for it, it's not an instantaneous thing.
It takes a minute.
And one of the funny things is, my doctor told me, you'll know it when you know it, okay? And then we need to, back it down because you'll know it. And one of the things was, I knew it, it's like a cloud going away.
Okay.
And it's like your shoulder. It is the same feeling, and it's a spiritual feeling too.
I got other family members that's like that too. Like it takes a while to balance stuff, and then anything you like, if you take a drink, could actually set that back. Like it's such a delicate balance that.
I mean, it's not to mess with. It really isn't.
It's underestimated because we hear it, so prevalent. Everybody has it, So it's like, but it affects decision. And then one of these, it was watching The View. Mm-hmm. One of the ladies said, because one of these politicians, I think it's a politician, checked themselves into rehab for depression. Mm-hmm. And she had the nerve to say that there's somebody with depression, like depression has a bad stigma, which it does, but that people could still serve and lead with depression.
I know what you're talking about. It's the guy from what is it? From Florida.
Letterman or Fetterman or
Fetterman,
something?
Yeah. He had a stroke. Okay.
Okay.
He could barely talk. Okay. He has to have stuff read to him so he knows what. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the stroke basically wiped him out.
Well, that's the stroke is what wiped my step-in-law, uncle who passed away. Right. I'm telling you, stroke is what finished him off, basically.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Because it's like a blessing in disguise where you don't know where you're at, you don't know who you are,
Oh, he knew.
Things. Well,
but he just couldn't feel. Me and my cousin have just the idea that he just kind of, once he realized that he was done, he kind of checked himself out. Just kind of went on his own. So we can both see him say, "Man, I ain't standing around for this shit. I got your fucking mind standing around for this shit. Peace."
Hey, and plus he had the decision. He could make that decision. A lot of times you don't have that choice. Yeah. It's like it's this and that's it. But if you, it kind of gives you back power.
Because he didn't want to be depressed. That's why he left. Yeah, depression ain't nothing to mess with, man. But you can't be an effective leader with depression. I'm sorry. I put it like to that lady on The View that said anybody with depression can still do their job or whatever. Okay, well, if you have brain surgery or your child has brain surgery, who would you rather have? A depressed doctor or a chemically balanced doctor? You let me know.
Yeah.
See, people say shit because they want to be all inclusive.
Oh yeah.
But when their life is on the line, it's a whole different.
Hey, I want number one.
Exactly.
I want the best. I don't care who it is. Yeah. Nah,
so, I don't want to give me that shit. That's just no. You don't want nobody with I don't want to keep harping on depression, but any mental illness.
Yeah.
To be paying your bills.
Like you don't pay your bills.
Well, because they'll forget to pay your bills. Like
it's not important. Nothing's important. There's one of the things that it becomes. There's no urgency anywhere.
Or
that's the thing.
If you're, do you want your pilot to be depressed?
Right. Oh yeah.
No, hey, let me go ahead and kill myself and everybody else in this thing with me.
That's what happened.
You see what I'm saying?
That's what happened.
No, don't give me no effective leader depression. So no, don't give me that shit.
One of the things is in your thinking mode. Okay, is it's one of those worst case scenarios constantly. What if this? What if this? What if this? And no matter how unrealistic it is, you still bring it up. And that controls your decision making, basically. So I better not do that because this is going to happen. Well, it wouldn't happen no matter what, but you're still not going to do anything about it. That's the key. You just you let it go.
I mean, and we're talking about the problem, but it's quick draw.
Yeah. Okay.
On the solution.
Yeah.
Stop eating sugar.
Okay,
Quick draw over. Nah. It's diet. If it's a chemical imbalance, what your body is most intimate with chemicals is food. Like food is chemicals at the end of the day. Like put in a certain amount, and that'll help. Get you stable along with medication. It depends on because that's one of the things he said as far as you can't have an anxiety person or a person who suffers from anxiety and depression just sit still, and channel God like that or be in tune. I was like, yes, you're right. But you neither can bench press 500 pounds at one time either. You have to work your way up there. It's certain things you have to do to get there, to have that pure, essence. And so it's like, and like I said, everybody is on their own path. Like, of course you're not going to sit there. And it doesn't need to be completely silent for you to be in silence, for you to be still. You can be in a dog pound or the marketplace and still be centered, still have a stillness about you that allows that constant connection between God and,
One of the things is that's the one of the prerequisites of receiving the word. You have to be still because everything else is a distraction. If you're distracted by anything, you're not receiving anything. You're receiving what's distracting.
Here's another thing that's in the Bible. Oh, and I can't bring up Bible verses to him because
he knows it all.
No, not only that, because I'm picking and choosing, right? I can't pick and choose.
What's a sermon?
But he can use in the Bible it says I think it's 2 Timothy chapter 2 verse 16 through 26. Basically it says avoid godless chatter. So it's something like just avoid this needless chatter and all these idle thoughts. And why? Because it sets up an interference around you, and it doesn't allow that pureness to come through. So when you talk about being still,
that's what
it's in there. Like, and these are things that I would like to point out to him. But if you're not gonna listen and just look for stuff, like it's like they have a problem with me knowing something that they don't know. And I think some of it, not all of it. I think maybe 25% of it is because I'm younger than them.
Okay. Okay, I got you.
And they still see me as their little kid that they help, whatever. And because I bet you, if his pastor was saying the things I was saying, them motherfuckers will swallow that shit like Scooby-Doo. I'm telling you.
Like a Scooby snack.
But because it's me,
I know.
or somebody younger, or somebody that they know, it's like, can't possibly know what he's talking about. I used to wipe his ass when he was little,
That is.
But it's not about the man.
No.
It's about the message.
Yeah.
And if you have that eye,
then that's
you be able to discern.
Yeah.
So, don't give me that shit, man.
So when's the next preaching?
You better not come with that shit. I'm not gonna do it because once I see that, I don't mind talking as long as we're both trying to gain understanding and learn something.
Right.
Now when you're trying to convert,
or
trying to pick apart what I'm saying to find something wrong, no, like I don't mind. Like I come to you, I ask certain questions about Christianity because I want to know what's the understanding.
Right.
My whole goal is just understanding.
Okay.
But you're an intelligent Christian, somebody that uses reason as some form of foundation for how they feel and their belief. Sure. Not just, hey, whatever, Santa Claus, berries on unicorns. I don't know, like.
Wow, you're getting deep.
And you can't use the Bible as the only source of evidence. There has to be an independent source. It's like me using a Spider-Man comic book to prove that Spider-Man exists. Using a Hulk comic book to prove that Hulk exists. No. And then when you say a fact or a claim that a Christian can disprove,
right?
They'd be like, see, that claim is false, so Jesus is real. But when you say a claim that obliterates that Jesus is not what they say, oh, you don't need to know that. You don't need to know that.
It's apocryphal. You can't.
You don't need to know that.
No. It goes against.
And believe me, for every one claim that's wrong about Jesus and Christianity and other religions,
right,
there's 1,000 more to support the fact that there's more to what there is to that religion. So, I mean, I be coming across something, I don't even be looking for them now. Like, I see them bitches everywhere. Like, it's like, this is just like right in front of your face. But anyways, man, I don't know.
No. Hey, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Now, when you first saw him at the door, I
didn't see him at the door. Oh, but go ahead. Okay. Keep going.
All right. What do you mean you didn't see him at the door?
I was in the garage.
He did not go through the door like you did?
Good one.
Okay.
I was in the garage. I heard him talking to Ma.
Okay.
Ma said that. I was like, who is this? You know, and then, I just heard him talking to Ma, preaching her ear off. So I came out to try to give Mom a break. Like,
I know. Distraction.
I was like, Ma, I heard your phone was ringing upstairs, which is true though. I ain't gonna lie. I heard her phone ringing upstairs. Right. But she probably couldn't hear it because she was being preached her ear off, you know.
She was being distracted. Hey, all right. I look at it. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it if the intention is good, if the intention is true, if the intention is pure. Okay, but if it's to get something out of it, like ego, or like, hey, I'm doing a good job because this person's accepting everything I'm saying. No, it's not about you.
Like, you know, you do something and you're proud of it.
Yeah.
And you kind of want to share that.
Yeah.
And I understand if that's his case. I understand that. But there has to be an awareness, an understanding, and how to get that across, and a patience. Because for you just to show up at somebody's house unannounced after the things that were said and not said for years, that shows you're kind of making it more about you. And that's one of the things I try to get across to him. Like, you got to understand, this is not really my belief, because you said you took your suit off. And when one truly does that, it's no longer about them. They're not in the equation.
Right.
So remember, while you was out there in the clubs and casinos and womanizing, running the streets, doing everything, whatever, when you was doing that, where was I?
Right.
I wasn't doing that.
Right.
So you just started on this. I've been doing this shit since I was 17, 18, and I've been going, I have nothing because this is what I do. You just started on this. Like, you're not going to come in here try to tell me that what I'm doing is wrong and that I should follow I should get baptized. And I'm like, look, in all honesty, and the Christian faith, it is a beautiful religion.
Yeah.
But the Christian faith that's being practiced today is so far from its essence. Like, because the Christian faith at its earliest conception stems from another faith, and there's so much meaning to the things that we do in life that the Christian faith, delves into, and you can use it to, when you see the world through Christian eyes, it's beautiful. But the way that it is now, and that's what I was trying to, when people come to me with Christianity or whatever, or any religion, that's what I try. I try to deepen their understanding of their religion. If they want to do something else with that, but at least it's like what I was talking about earlier. You have English, Chinese, Japanese, French. But underneath that, it's all sound. There's that underlying thread that, it's just the way we call it English, we call it this. And that's what I try to, help people get to, that underlying thread that connects everything as far as some of the understanding that I've come into. And so, but because they only see the superficial, the surface, the instead of, they see the literal and not the allegory, you know. They get caught up in the symbol and not the symbolism. And that is the issue. Like, they all up in the story, What a lot of people don't realize is that you're not worshiping the man Jesus. What you are worshiping, or what you're trying to attain as well, is the qualities that body embodied. It's not the actual physical. It's the kindness, the love, the intelligence, the wisdom, all this stuff that temple, that's what you're trying to perfect yourself to. And they get lost in the carcass, It's like, come on, man. Like,
you could also break it down simply by saying it's all about frequencies. Because if you really go into it, it's all about frequencies. Things that you hear, or things that you don't hear but still exist.
And that's what I try to tell her with silence.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're in silence, it's never really truly silent.
No.
Like, it's silent to you, but how about that dog that can hear a dog whistle? There are things beyond, our senses that, that's not outside of our ability to get there. But
okay, another thing is when you're silent, also, your inner voice speaks louder, because what that inner voice is the Holy Spirit, which you've obtained inside of you, which is the belief that He should have, because that's what it is. The Holy Spirit is directing you and saying these things. But if you're saying it for your own benefit, then you're just, mocking the Holy Spirit, and you don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's I don't like I said,
he's on his road. You gotta let Hey. And the bad thing is, it could go good. I mean, it could go great for him, which is what you hope for, but it can also be the worst thing that could ever happen, because nowadays, the way the world is now, you got a target on your back. Okay.
Or you and your family.
Yeah, I mean, basically that's what it is, and there are people out there that are basically after that.
But here's the thing. People have been conditioned, a lot of religious people have been conditioned to believe that it's a badge of honor to be persecuted. It is this thing of pride and joy to be martyred. Like, I got shot for teaching the word, so I'm that much more of a hero. That's how people think.
I know.
Like,
it's in the doctrine.
It's like brownie points, more brownie points.
It's like the harder you hurt, the better you are, and it's not that way.
Suffering, because Jesus suffered, and here's the thing though. They say Jesus died on the cross. God gave up His only Son,
right?
But He did not, because when He died, according to Christian belief, where do you go? You go to heaven. So He was with the Father, because He is the Father, but He was with the Father when He died. And then when He came back to His body, He's still with the Father. So He never gave up His only Son. It was only the body. The body was just laying there.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I know.
It doesn't compute. It doesn't compute. But suffering, because we all have to suffer.
Hey, I suffer all day.
You're
here, I'm suffering.
Hey.
That's all I can say.
It doesn't compute, but these are questions nobody want to think about that because it's blasphemy.
Ooh.
He threw that one at me too.
Did he really?
Blasphemy.
What'd you say?
I think at one point he said that even remembering your sin is a sin. I think he said something like that.
Okay. All right. One of the things. This is my thinking. I mean, this is what I believe in. Okay, and the practical Christian belief. Okay, I'm going practical. Okay, where, for instance, all your sins are forgiven. Okay, if you bring it up, that means that it wasn't forgiven. No, it was forgiven. It's you that are being dumbass by bringing it up. Okay. Are you going to do it again? Probably, because guess what? You're human. Everybody's human. Hey, that's the way it is. It's practicality. But the thing about it is, in your belief system, here's how I feel, okay? Or how I tell people that I feel, okay? I pray to God that this gets taken from me, or something happens that I can't do anything about it, but that He takes care of it, okay? So you give it into His hands, okay? All right. The next day, you're saying, I pray to God that you get... No, He heard it the first time, okay? What you're doing is you're taking it back thinking that, hey, I can do something about it by giving it back to you. You can't. Once you give it up, let it go. It's in His hands. If you believe that's who it is, He will take care of it. Hey, there's 3 answers. Yes, no, and maybe so. Okay? You just got to believe it.
Or not now.
Hey, yeah, exactly. It's your time? No, it's not your time. It kills me these people think that it's instantaneous. It's not.
Well, they said, he said, when I pray, I have to say it out loud because it's His way of talking to God. I'm like, you're doing it to make yourself feel better because...
One of the things the Bible says you're supposed to go in your closet and speak quietly. You don't you don't know. You pray quietly.
See, if I was to have said that,
of course He would have.
But you can't just pick and choose from the Bible.
I know. I'm gonna tell you something. It's a no-win situation when you talk about that, and that's His thinking. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win this over, but it's no win situation because it's not about winning or losing. It's about existing. It's about treating somebody with kindness, like you said. It's everyday thing.
You don't need a religion to tell you that it's wrong to kill somebody,
right? To
steal, to lie, to commit adultery. Now it's not. It's something that has.
All right, we're getting close.
Yeah. Okay. What else we got? Fuck that nigga. What else we got?
I love that. Well, we got to talk about the trip.
Do we really?
Well,
next Tuesday, booked for the Louvre.
So when are you actually leaving? Friday?
It's a lot of logistics. No. Tuesday, around 1, I think. I'll leave.
In the morning?
PM.
Oh, PM? Okay.
I got to get my last meal in because I won't be able to eat till the next Wednesday at probably like 4 or something.
Why?
It's gonna be like a day and a half because the flight don't get there to like 7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna eat what they have on a plane.
No.
And the hotel, their check-in ain't till 4 p.m.
Right.
And I thought it was 12, but it's 4 p.m.
No, it's like here.
So I gotta do something. Then from there, I'm gonna take the train because that's like €7.
Okay.
If I take a taxi, it's like €70.
Right.
So I'll take the train to what I'm planning is the Eiffel Tower.
Okay.
I need to burn some time.
Yeah.
And then
that's the smart way. Knock it all out before get things done, and that way you can say
And then when I got my energy up, because but that from the train to the Eiffel Tower was like an hour and a half from the airport. From the airport to the
I mean, on the map it looks like it's next door.
Well, you got all those stops.
Oh,
train, subway. I say train, but the subway.
Oh.
And the taxi is 24 minutes, but I'm not paying $70, and I need time to burn. And plus, I like to travel the public transportation.
Actually, it's you become one of them. That's how you should travel.
And I need to learn I need to get my reading and all that down.
Yeah. How's that come?
It's cool. Like I said, I booked one for a museum. They sent me the confirmation in French.
Oh,
it's like these bitches. But I was able to get through it. Yeah, I was able to get through it. Don't give me no test on it, but I was able to get through it. And
you got some of the major words like hours and the doors open and I got you.
So, but yeah, so I'm booking because those you got to book in advance.
Yeah.
Like some of them they got like a month or two.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna do that. I said the Louvre is really the main one I want to see. Eiffel Tower, okay, that's cool. And then there's this famous street, the
Champs-Élysées. Yeah,
that one.
That's where the painters and so forth.
So that one also, at the end of that is where they had the obelisk.
Yeah,
that's the Egyptian one. So I want to. And then from there, then I go on I go with the people that will take me to Switzerland, Italy, Vatican, Monaco, and all that. And they take me back.
You going to Vatican?
Yeah.
Whoa. Be careful, it might convert you.
Oh shit!
Well, hey, I'm excited for you. That's the.
I appreciate it.
See, when we plan stuff, okay, it's the planning and the anticipation, and a little bit of when you get there. But after that, it just you basically turn into yourself in your house. And you stay in your hotel and let's see what's on. I'm sorry, but that's how I do.
Okay.
Like we do a thing in the afternoon. Okay, and then what do? Rush back to the hotel, take a nap, and then go and get something to eat, and that's it. But
I ain't gonna have no choice. But like I said, Paris, is strictly on my own.
Yeah.
It's just the every other place like. Spanish-speaking countries, I know the language. I can read it. That's fine. English, okay. I know language. India, they pretty much know English there.
They sound like 7-Eleven guys.
All of them.
See, that's a stereotype, but it's true. Come on.
And they shake their head when they talk.
Do they really?
Yeah. But this one, I'm pretty sure they'll know. Everybody know English. Because of Christianity and them going around the world.
Yeah.
Raping everybody.
Hey, you gotta go,
So
don't forget to do that.
Yeah.
Pass it around. How's the COVID situation? What's going on that way?
When I booked everything, it was fine. There's no need to stay
it up or
no, everything's back to normal.
Okay,
so
cool. Glad to hear that because that sucks.
Unless they change within the last week, then I'm done.
Okay. All right. You got pretty much all your essentials and everything done? Yeah,
I got to just make copies of my passport and print out my tickets, my museum pass tickets and stuff. And
you can't have it on your phone to show it? Or
I can't. I want both.
Okay.
I get no more buggers. No excuse. No excuse.
Yeah, my phone just died. It's right here. Trust me. Yeah, I got you.
Nah, that's no excuse. That's go ahead.
Why don't you get you like an extra battery charge? Something that you can plug in. Just in case you're in between time. You know what I'm saying?
The buses got that shit.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, the buses got the. I just got the adapter to convert adapter. Yeah, as long as I get that, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
And it's got 2 US plugs, so I can do the computer and the.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, you taking that with you?
Yeah, I'm taking that.
Cool.
In case I want to do an impromptu podcast.
Yeah.
So it's 6-hour difference too. So
okay.
If I do one at 6, I'm gonna have to wake up at midnight.
I'll be up.
Nah. I'll be up. Also might want to make a beat or something. So
okay.
But yeah. So that's it with that. Really I'm just looking forward to the Egyptian exhibits.
Yeah.
As close as I'm gonna get to Egypt for now, probably for a couple of years.
Stuff going on, man. There's stuff going on there.
In Egypt?
Yeah.
A couple of years, hopefully it'll, That's another reason why, I'm learning French. So when I go there, I need to know something.
Yeah.
I need to talk something.
Yeah. I saw Indiana Jones the other day.
There's a new one coming out.
Yeah, 5.
We made fun, I think we did, about Harrison Ford Because he's got that new sitcom, right?
Yeah.
So I think we made fun of him, like, sarcastically saying he was too old to do a new Indiana Jones. But guess what? He's got a new Indiana Jones. Now the computer, they do parts where the computer made him look young.
Yeah,
I don't know what the plot of what
Yeah.
But the motherfuckers pulled it off. Yeah.
Hey, the way technology is, you really don't need the people anymore. Once you've got their facial features and stuff, you could do anything with them, and that's scary. Yeah. That is real scary.
Well, speaking of movies, what's your top 5?
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh shit. What was that when that came out?
That came out in 2020 because of the pandemic. So, shit. Yeah, we're in trouble. My number 5 film.
Man, we've been talking this whole time. I ain't seen you take now one drink of water.
So?
I'm taking sips in here to keep everything nice and lubricated.
Well, you're doing most of the talking. I'm not saying shit. You're doing most of the talking. I gotta go use the bathroom in a second anyways.
Want me to help you? I just lubricated my mouth.
My wife wouldn't even help me, okay? So just don't even bother.
Top 5 movies.
Top 5 movies, okay. Braveheart is one of them. I'm not going to go 1 through 5. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Braveheart. Let's see. Rocky.
1, 2, or 3.
1 and 3.
So does that count as another movie?
No, just Rocky itself, the movie. Because when I saw it at the theater, it's like, yeah, this is. It made me feel that the underdog can win. Okay. You know, even though he didn't win, he did win. That's the key. And plus, he got the girl too, which is the best part about it. Yeah. So he won. Let's see. Remember the Titans.
Okay, well, you like that one?
Yeah, that's one because of Denzel.
I want to guess
because of Denzel. I mean, his and Equalizer.
You like Equalizer?
That is one of my jams. Yeah.
I thought that was a sorry movie. I mean, I knew it was good, but I wouldn't say it's a top 5.
The dude is so cool in this movie. Okay.
But is it real? Like realistically cool?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not like John Wick. You like John Wick?
John Wick. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Those 5.
John Wick 1 or 2?
I like 1.
You like 1? Is there 3?
Yeah, it's coming out.
Man, I didn't
2
like
is okay. 2 is okay, but one is you get the story of who he is, okay? Because you don't know.
But it's all blue. It's blue and guns.
But that's part of it.
Like the whole movie is in blue, ain't it?
But it's dark. It's dark.
I can't do that, man.
I mean, you got it. If you don't filter it a little bit, you're going to see all the mistakes. You can't do it without it.
It's too blue for me.
Well, sorry.
I felt like I was in what's that dude from X-Men?
Wolverine?
No, the blue guy.
That's a girl.
No, not her. She's bad. The other blue guy. So he was a scientist. The Beast. Like he was like a.
Okay. Oh, I remember. Kramer. I mean, not Kramer, but Kelsey Grammer played him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, him. I felt like I was in his ass all movie long.
Like move the shit out of the way.
All blue. Everywhere just blue. Like.
Did you turn your contrast down or something? Did you work on that?
Blue. It was blue and red. Blue and gun and blood. That's all I kept seeing. I didn't finish the movie, by the way. That's why I probably is off.
Right. One of the things is the choreographing. Okay? It is like a one step after another step. There's no pauses or anything like that, and it's a connection where they filmed it as close as you can get without killing somebody. That's how I felt. Okay, and that was the thing, and plus the humor too. There's a little bit of humor there.
Well, he does. I can see him doing some humor.
Oh yeah,
dry humor type thing.
Well, it is. I mean, you killed my dog, man. I'm gonna have to cut you up. All right. What's your 5?
My 5. Looking back, I wouldn't say they're the best movies. But kind of like you, is the ones that made the most impression.
There you go. That's how I looked at it. Yeah.
All right. Now, my all-time favorite movie.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna go 1 through 5.
Right,
but
yeah.
there's no number one movie.
Yeah.
The number one movie.
Popeye.
It's is A Knight's Tale.
Hey, I agree with you.
It has everything. Comedy, action, a plot, everything.
The characters are believable. I love the guy that announces. He's a rapper. He's a rapper, man. And then they modernized it with the music. That was. Oh, you're right. You're right.
That's to me. That is. And then the love story. Like you can't.
Yeah.
Underdog.
Yeah. Hey, it's got everything.
You know,
yeah. And then the king. The king recognizes him and says, "Hey."
It's to me. That's my. I hate to watch things more than once, but I can watch that shit over and over again. It's just.
I've tried to watch it with a wife and she don't want to watch it, but I've watched behind her.
Oh man, that's how I love that shit.
Good story.
The way like don't say the graphics, but the tone, the way it's just made, the way it's filmed, the filter, everything to me is a perfect. All right, so that one.
Okay.
The next one, Troy.
Ooh, Brad Pitt. Yeah.
Troy.
He's good.
Troy, because at the beginning, he had the baddest line for where I was at that time in my life, for where my consciousness was at. I want to go back to, but anyways.
What was the line?
So the line was, it was at the beginning of the movie, and remember when there was that army was going to fight this army, and instead of everybody having to all out, they choose the best soldiers from each, best warriors. So they called out the other guy, and then they called out Achilles. Right. He wasn't there. So the general told the boy or whoever to go find Achilles. Right. The Achilles was in a tent with 1 or 2 women, whoever it was, right?
He was busy.
He was busy.
Okay.
Or waking up from getting busy. And he said, they need you, to go fight or whatever. And then the kid said, I see the guy that you're supposed to fight, and I wouldn't want to fight him. And do you know what Brad Pitt said?
What did Brad say?
This motherfucker said, and that's why you'll never be remembered. I was like, cool, God, that motherfucker there changed everything. I was like, yo, that was, at that time.
That's it, man. That's it.
I took that line, and eventually what I did is I turned it inward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we talked about being remembered and all this.
Sure.
So I took that ego out of that line.
Right. Okay.
And I just turned it inward, and it's just, oh man, it's just that drive, Yeah.
Do the impossible.
It's just
don't back down.
That's why you'll never be remembered. I was like, oh God. But that's the reason why every bad shit in this world is because of that. Because everybody wants to be remembered. But in order for that to happen, you have to prove that you're greater than this one, and this one has to prove that they're great. So everybody's fighting for this supremacy on the outside. Right. That's why there's no peace. You need to turn that shit inward. Right. Anyways. Okay. So that's number 2.
Okay.
Knight's Tale, Troy.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Swordfish.
With John Travolta. And
Halle Berry.
Yeah, and the other guy was.
I don't remember the other guy.
Yeah, he played whatchamacallit? Wolverine.
Okay.
That's the dude. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the reason why I like that is for the same reason why you like The Equalizer. And The Equalizer. Yeah. Because John Travolta was such a smooth villain.
Yeah.
He was so under control up until the very end. And smart. And the other one is because of the camera play.
Okay.
There was this scene where the bomb blew up and it just circled around the whole thing slowly.
Right.
It's similar to some of the camera play that they use in Bad Boys 3.
Okay.
But the camera play and that villain, I was like, that's control, that's power, that's something is there. Right. So those are, I remember. Yeah, okay. So that's 3.
Okay.
Number 4, I would say Matrix, the first one.
Really? Okay.
That left. Yeah.
That's kind of eye-opening, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like, it's first time. Like, okay, there's some shit that's possible here that we really,
Right, don't know.
And that's what you go from black and white movie film. To me, it's like Christianity.
Yeah.
I'm trying to show this motherfucker that
there's more to life.
There's more to life, I'm trying to take you from that to the Matrix, or help to be a part of that path to take you from that to the Matrix. Gotcha. All right, the first one, and then the other one is Avatar, the first one.
Really?
I didn't see the second one. I probably would never see the second one, but like I said, I stopped watching movies a long time ago.
What did you like about that?
Because it was a concept that I felt accurately, depicted reality. Mm-hmm. As far as we are not our bodies.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I, up until that point, I've never really seen anybody that's like show that. Like,
yeah.
We say it all the time, but to actually see it and to show that there is a possibility and a way to actually do that. Then the storyline was great because it's like we talked about earlier, the Europeans and what they want, they're going around and they go to a different place. They're not even thinking about these people, how they were, at peace for the most part, had their own communion with nature, the universe, God, and they come in there with their own ethnocentric ideas. Okay, well, and then the graphics, the CG, the CGI.
It's all about the money. That was what it was too, because they were after it. Yeah, I like the storyline also with the soldier who he had the ability to go inside.
That's what I'm talking about.
That I mean, and it's like he was new again, that kind of thing. I can see that.
Again, well, the concept how we're more than our bodies, and so. But that's my top 5.
One of my motivator films.
This honorable mention.
Yes, Gladiator.
That's a good one. Oh, I'm gonna see the Coliseum too when I'm down.
Okay, cool. Okay, but when Maximus is on his before when he gets knocked down basically, and he's on his horse and they're fighting who is it? I think the Germans. They're the hordes.
I don't remember. It's been a while. I just remember in the middle of the arena.
But this thing is on his horse. He's got his sword, and he says, "Unleash hell." And that was like, damn, that's what it is, because they throw those fireballs through it.
Okay.
And he's just going down there to kick ass and just take names, and that was it. And then that to me is like, yeah, I could see that.
I remember the slave.
It's and it's also one of them. It's one of them underdogs. Where the guy had everything, then he lost everything, and then he became the number one gladiator.
That's there is a true story that is about a gladiator of some sort during that time that was so rich that he would make LeBron James and Michael Jordan look like middle class. I don't know the exact time, the exact name, but there is something. Okay. It's like, okay, that's what I was talking about on the last episode about being remembered.
Yeah.
At that time, they were LeBron and Michael Jordan. At some point, you're not going to be remembered. Give it up. Like, invest in things you can take with yourself.
Pretty much, yeah. I think the best way to be remembered is to pass on what you have and not regret it. That's it.
The best legacy, Because what they talk about is, do this for your legacy, and so that when they put your name on this, okay, fucking name. Everybody has a name. You're John the second, John the third, John the fourth. I'm Joey. I'm the fifth Joey. Okay, whatever. At some point,
Okay.
The best legacy that one can leave behind is a sound and unperverted DNA. You leave the next soul a body that they can inhabit so that they can operate at peace. So they don't have to struggle and go through these extremes to rectify, the shit that you might have done. You, not you, but in general, have to rewrite what your parents did. And then your seed has to rewrite
what we did.
Right, and so on. So you leave a legacy in that way so that when that child inhabits that body, it can now be peaceful and it doesn't create havoc all over the world.
Right.
It's not so chemically imbalanced that it goes to a elementary school and blows everybody up.
Yeah.
That's the best piece. But see, when you do that, nobody knows that you did it. So you don't have the credit.
But you do, though. That's the thing.
You see, but it's like you're not here, so nobody knows my name. Oh my God. Oh my God. No. Remove yourself from the equation.
Yeah.
And everything starts to make sense. Yeah. So
that's cool.
But yeah, that's my top five. I don't know if I have an honorable mention. Maybe, I don't know.
I got a couple though.
That's crazy. If we would have did the top 10, we would have been hurting.
I mean, there's like
all right, well,
Lone Survivor. That's another one.
Oh, I got one. Saving Private Ryan. You
No.
don't like that? First time I seen that, I was like, wow.
See, the first time I saw it, I was like shocked.
On the beach scene?
On the beach scene. I loved it. No, it was so realistic. You know how much that beach scene cost?
That beach scene?
The beach scene, yeah.
That's some good shit right there.
You know how much the beach scene cost?
How much?
$1 million.
Damn,
$1 million. Yeah. I mean, it got me in there. You know how films, you become that, and you.
That's what it did for me.
And I'm like, you
dodging bullets off screen and shit.
But you had a general idea, but you didn't have any idea when once that ramp went down. See, that was the thing.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, but you see in the movies and other movies like that, but this was like, this is the real.
I liked it because it helped to develop sympathy and empathy and compassion.
Yeah.
Because now I was able to relate a little bit more about what soldiers go through when they're
Pop.
So
what do you think?
Pop
and Mom. She was a soldier.
She was on the front lines.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah, I understand.
You sign the line, you can go anytime.
You can. That's true. But I know.
Luck at a draw, that kind of thing.
My stepdad. I was saying my stepdad. He's my dad because he was there.
Right.
He's actually both of them in the military, but he jumped out of planes. So he was. Yeah. I don't say they were sitting there on the front line dodging bullets, but I appreciate. It's just a different level of understanding I got after I saw that, and I was like, that's some real shit. This ain't no. A lot of them did sign up for it. A lot of them felt they didn't have a choice. A lot of them, it's like
one of the things about Private Ryan, once that was over with, was the closeness and the characters that were in the troop, and once they found out that this is what they have to do, we gotta say this motherfucker. It's like we're killing ourselves for this, right? And then each one after another was like killed, and sacrificed. That one kid that got shot, and all of them are trying to work on him, and they're doing they're hitting him with morphine, Give him another, give him, It's like it just knocked me down.
Well, I like that. That's a good honorable. Django, I would say.
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen that with Jamie Foxx and it's been Samuel L. That's not bad.
Yeah, they say a lot of that shit was real too, as far as some of the things like Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, okay.
Where he cut his hand. in one of the movie or one of the scenes. He actually did. Yeah. But yeah, Private Ryan. I haven't seen it again.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those movies I'd have to prepare for it to see it, because I admire the film. I mean, the film is it, but yeah.
All right. What's the? It's 11:22.
Yeah, we gotta go. Yeah.
Okay. We was gonna do top 5 shows, but
okay.
We'll wrap that up.
Say that next time. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then.
Man, it's like you couldn't write it in a script, to have him come to your door after so many years and then become the person that are you serious? This is what you are now, and just be the total 180 from he was before. I'm not taking nothing away from his spirituality. Right. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying you forgot where you came from. Okay? Don't ever forget where you came from, because once you do that, you're not that person anymore. Because you got to remember your coworkers, your family, everybody. If you become something better than what you were before, you ain't better. Now, that's when people get promotions at work.
I see what you're saying.
And they just I don't know what happens to them, but they become another person. And it's like, just because you're making more money, you have a little more responsibility. You're not that same funny guy that used to joke and everything. Okay, I understand. You weren't that person to start with. Okay, that was all facade. The person that you are now is who you really are, because all the other things were put aside. You dropped them like a bad habit. That's who you are, and that is one of the worst people to be.
Yeah, that's why with him, I love him, but in your life you want to surround yourself with as much stability as possible and consistency and. Like he's been there at times, and we got a good relationship. But
I hope so.
I know that with my mother, I mean, this ain't the first time. You get your feelings hurt. Yeah. You don't talk to somebody for years.
Oh yeah.
This is not the first time.
Right.
This has been happening.
It's
and so at some point you're like, you know what? Nobody want to don't.
Time's too short, man.
Time is too short.
What'd your mom think?
Same thing.
You talked to her about it, right?
Yeah, she brought it up.
And what'd you say?
We had kind of like the same feeling. Okay. Like, we showed him love when he came here,
right.
Chatted up like nothing, But at the end of the day, it is what it is. I'm not gonna make the effort to, I'm not gonna go out of my way,
right,
to develop a relationship with him, because I might say something that he don't agree with, and then he ain't gonna stop talking, or he's gonna keep pushing his Jesus stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
See, if you have to tiptoe around somebody, that's bullshit. Because like you and me. I can call you something.
You're a Christian, and look what I just finished saying.
I'm just saying.
And you still don't see me any different than before.
No.
It's like
to me, on the surface, you're not a Christian. Okay.
But at heart, I am a Christian.
You are because of what you believe. Yeah. Now, I'll give you an example. We gotta go. Shoot, it's about my mom too. Okay, since we're gonna go get her lunch. My mom is always surprised how long she's lived. She's like 87, 89. But she's like, why am I still here? Miss Grissom, remember my best friend?
Oh, yeah.
She kept asking me, why am I still? I said, because you didn't hurt nobody. You took care of everybody, and you didn't hurt nobody. Now this hurts. when like your mom too. He takes care of those who take care of his own, and that's what it is, and that's what my mom is.
That's what's up.
Yeah, And you worry about, well, she's not going to heaven because she don't believe in Jesus. Hey,
she's going somewhere.
She's going somewhere
she's
peaceful,
peaceful,
and knowing that she can have sushi whenever she wants. You know,
that's because what's up. Which is not actually that far off.
I know.
You're not far off. That's like, yeah.
Hey, fish got to eat.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's one thing that, like my dad too, and brothers. And stuff. No, God don't make people like that. And just say, just because you didn't accept me, you got to go away. No.
That's true.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's not what love is.
It's like a transactional type thing.
Yeah.
You got to do this for me, I do this for you.
No.
Especially not when they say that, God's love is greater for us than a mother's love for her children. Right. Like, come on now.
You stretching there, buddy.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
But that's deep. That's some deep shit right there. Shit.
Well, I've experienced it, so I don't think. Well,
mother's love is deep.
Yeah, because they're like bears, man. You don't touch their cubs, man, because they'll eat you up.
Cocaine bear.
There you go. That's next. We're gonna go see that.
All right, now.
See that. Okay. We good?
Well, bro, I pray for you. Texas forever.
Texas forever. Jamming. That's good.